All right, I'm Pops. Let's talk about Venom Last Dance. I know it is such a horrible name, and I was so pessimistic about the film. And I have to be honest, the film is almost like three films kind of muddled together in different ways. But the first part of the film, which is about Eddie Brock, and they quickly undo all of the multiverse and all the Spider-Man and all the things that they left everybody with last time. Just so you know, everything that happened last time, just forget all that. And they give you a couple moments in the film to give you the details that you needed from the Carnage movie, and then they kind of jump right back into things. And they have him, oh, Venom needs to eat, so let's get some bad guys. We saw that in the trailer. Let's go on this journey to New York. We're a fugitive now. What can we do? And then meanwhile, there's this creature entity called Null, who is almost like a god. He's like pre-celestial, kind of powerful, and it's tied to the creation Venom and the symbiotes who turn on him and they imprison him. So he's trying to find a way. Well, because, again, allegedly, because of how Venom has saved Eddie, he now has this codex inside of him. And that's what this Null is after, because he can free Null to destroy the universe. Now, the film moves along pretty well the first portion of the movie. There's a ton of like little gag things. Actually, this shot is actually not in the film, but there's moments that you see all of these kinds of things where Eddie and Venom are really played for laughs more than they are anything else. This is the xenophage attack on Venom, and it kind of creates the plot device that they need for how they're going to move forward and how to chase things. Then later, and again, this is I think it's still sort of kind of a weird thing where we have to have how Venom is sort of portrayed and explained. The Xenovod is really, really cool. We just never really understand how to defeat it. So I think one of the big flaws in the movie is these things happen and they're attacking. How do you actually kill it? All we do is see them completely kill things and then put itself back together again when it's injured or what should have killed it. But again, there's other symbiotes that are now captured. Area 51, this is all in Area 51 underground. This is the Mulligan guy who becomes Toxin. This is the general that's obsessed with all this. The backstory with Null. You have what feels like a hodgepodge of things happening. Hence the reason that many of us were very skeptical they could pull this movie off. But I think the first portion of the movie moves along well. Venom's on the run. Eddie's on the run. No one knows what to do. Everything is crazy. This is that gag scene with down in Mexico, which I kind of made fun of because I had to have Marvel humor. And he finds his way into the city and doing that. Now, before we got there, and there's nothing in the trailer I think that sets any of this up. This is all flashbacks. None of that matters. Um, Let me just say that the movie comes to a complete halt where he, wandering through the desert, comes across these hippies that are on their way to Area 51 to see the aliens before it's all shut down. So Reese Ifans plays the one guy, and Eddie's going to go along with them. And they're like, hey, let's do a sing along. And they're singing Rocket Man. And the problem is then suddenly this scene just goes on and on and on. And then they cut. You have a little sweet moment with the kid. And the scenes go on and on. And then Eddie's looking out the window and the scene goes on. And then the mom's talking and the scene goes on. It's like, okay, so this whole sequence could have been trimmed down to just a few shots. And I'm just going to keep the story intact as it is. Just, I can't imagine that you have a 95-minute movie roughly. I think the runtime's around 95. Let me double check that. Yeah, it's like 109, but that's with the credits and stuff. So imagine we still are bloated. We still have 10 minutes or so, like 3 here, 2 there. It's so silly. And then when he finally gets to Las Vegas, we have the stuff that's in the trailer here, where it's all the gags where he's this, by the way, this Martin Scorsese lookalike here. He has to just constantly, Venom has to just throw all their money. It's just dumb. It was such a waste of time. It would have been fine to do the gag and then just move on. They just can't do that. I don't think this trailer has the dancing queen, Miss Chen. Just he randomly finds the Asian lady that everybody loved from the previous movies, and they just have this Venom is going to dance with her thing. And again, the scene just went on and on and on. I think the biggest thing that came out of that trailer was the Venom horse. and some of those special effects that I think were done fine, better than maybe I even thought they would do. And then we get to the final act. And the final act is just this moneyed action sequences of, and again, we don't know how to kill the xenophage. They're after Eddie and Venom, so one of them has to die so that the other, it's like it just become a convoluted mess. The scientists are there merging with other symbiotes, becoming other symbiotes. They're unnamed and they just get destroyed by xenophages as fast as they're made. Like I don't know why we're doing that. And they didn't team up to save the world and go, hey, listen, we're here, we're on your side, humans. Don't fear us. Mm, just become a muddled mess at the end of the movie. So sadly, portions of it were fine. There's a good movie in there. It just got totally mishandled. Overall, it's sort of Midland for me. I don't think this is. I'm going to hate rewatching this as much as I hated rewatching Carnage because Carnage was such a dumbed down PG version of Carnage. I do feel like this is a 2.5 out of 5, kind of at the top. This is like that's high end. This is probably more like a 2 out of 5 for me. I don't know how else to feel about it. Really, really let down. It also teases more to come because obviously they're not going to let it go. I mean, sure, this may be the last one with Tom Hardy, at least the last one with Tom Hardy right now. I also think in this movie too, they did show their hands of how short Tom Hardy is. I think for the most part, most people haven't been able to catch on that he's this little tiny human at like 5'9", and they shoot him at different angles and stuff to hide that. This film that came through, so everything about it just diminishes Venom at all, and I didn't care for it. So now that's my take on it. I'm Pops.